Hi everyone, it's Rob Cosman, jonescosman.com, and in this video I want to talk about what I think is the number one reason why you want to incorporate if you're an e-commerce seller in Canada. Doesn't matter if you're selling on Amazon, you have a Shopify website, some other WooCommerce, e-commerce, anything. This one reason I think is going to save you potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars in taxes just by incorporating. Let's check it out. Okay, let's get right into it. So I put together, again, I'm not going to go through all the pros and cons of incorporating, but I think this is one of, if not the single biggest reason that if you're an Amazon seller, particularly private label or Shopify drop shipper, or anybody basically who has a business in Canada and might be looking to sell at some point, I think this is the number one reason that you should incorporate, and it could potentially save you thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on how many shareholders you have. No joke. Okay, let's get to it. What's it called? Lifetime capital gains exemption. Boom. Let that sink in. Sounds super boring and super nerdy, but I guarantee it's going to save you money. What this is, it's an exemption. It's your life. But what it allows you to do is basically it shelters $800,000 worth of gains if you sell shares of a qualifying small business corporation. So, you create a company and you put your $100 worth of shares in and you finally sell it for $1,000,000. Well, 800,000 of that would be tax free. Now, this is your lifetime, so you can't be doing it multiple times. However, it's also on a per shareholder. So if you set up your corporation, let's say, and maybe you have a partner or a wife or a husband, life partner, whatever, and they're a shareholder, they get the $800,000 exemption as well. That's right. It's like Oprah. Boom, 800 to you, 800 to you. Everybody gets it. The issue is you have to sell shares of the company. So sometimes people want to say, I'll just sell you the assets, I'll just sell you a couple individual SKUs, but in order to qualify, you actually have to sell the shares of the company. And you've got to make sure that it qualifies as an active business. It's not holding a bunch of investments, but it's a real company doing stuff like most private label sellers are, or Amazon sellers, drop ship, anything like that. You should be able to qualify. But you have to sell the assets. So if you ever decide you want to sell your business, it's got to be a share deal, not assets. Okay, I say it's 800,000, but that amount increases each year. It's tied to inflation, so it's a little bit more each year. It's going to go up, but 800,000 over your lifetime, it's pretty good. The other thing is, like anything CRA does, it has to qualify. They've got to review it. It's not easy. They're going to make you fill out a form. But the fact is, it's totally doable. It's legit. You can get an exemption for up to $800,000 per shareholder over your life. Now, this could be any e-commerce business that's considered active and meets their guidelines. They have some specific guidelines, but it's not too hard to qualify. Most businesses in the e-commerce field should qualify, no problem. But again, talk to your own professional advisor and your accountant and an expert about this. But I think this is the largest reason that people, at the start, if you say, look, eventually I want to sell it, or I'd like to have an exit in 2 or 3 years, or if not before, yeah, maintaining a corporation is a little bit more expensive, on the yearly basis with tax returns and a little bit more bookkeeping. But at the end of the day, if all of a sudden you can sell that and shelter so much of the gains, it'll save you thousands of dollars when you actually do exit. I've known people who have done it and it works, and they don't have to pay the government a whole lot of money, and it puts a little bit more cash in their pocket. So again, lifetime capital gains exemption. You can Google it. There's all kinds of articles on it, and CRA website. You can check out the form T657. It's pretty long and arduous and kind of boring, but the fact is, if you're considering incorporating and you've kind of been going back and forth, if you're a private label seller, drop shipper, and you're thinking, you know what, I'm going to potentially exit in the next year or two, I highly recommend taking a look at the corporation. Thanks.